What is good, y'all? It's your boy Real here, and I've recorded this video probably 500 fucking times already, so let's get this one today. I'm going to show y'all how I made the tracks on my tape mode that dropped. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to keep the intro short because I got 3 tracks to show y'all, one with an extended intro and all that shit. 50k, in other words, track 3 dropped back in January. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, sub, share this bitch around, all that stuff. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Let's get it. Alright, so we on track number 1, in other words, named Double Cardboard. But yeah, so we're here in Purity. We're on Digivibe 1, and we've got this pattern playing right over here. That's what we're playing. That's what it sounds like, yeah. Next thing that we got over here, we're in Expand 2. We got the basic sign pad, and yeah, I was really liking using the basic sign pad around this point in time, like a pluck, like a super soft pluck. So yeah, we got like F sharp 5, another F sharp 5, another F sharp 5, and a bunch of other notes in between. So yeah, that's what we're playing right here. So yeah, that's exactly what it is on some happy-go-lucky stuff. Obviously, I showed y'all the EQ. Next thing that we got here is the cycle, whatever the heck it's called. And then we got the release all the way down. We also got some EQ taking on a lot of those lows. So yeah, cool beans. Next thing that we got is in Expand 2, we got the Glockenspiel. And this is all that we're playing. So I'm saying that pattern's so silly, but yeah, that's what we got. And yeah, that's all for the melody basically for the entire beat. So that's what it sounds like all together. Basically everything stays the same. What we got over here is we're adding in some jerk drums. So we've got this basic jerk pattern right here, and then we're adding some extra snares onto it as well. So this is what we've got. We're adding in an open hat as well too. So we've got this hey sound effect I added like a hey listen sound effect like crazy. Added a whole bunch of sound effects. Going into this part over here, what changes as we go into this section of the beat? I didn't like stem this out really, like pattern channel split, so I'm gonna have to go over it kind of oddly. We got this kick pattern going in right here, a silly goofy ass kick pattern. This is what it sounds like. Bro, every time I hear that kick pattern, bro, I can't help but laugh, bro. It's so silly, bro. But yeah, we've got that. I've got these hi-hats that I just did some crazy John on, bro. I remember I was watching like Step Team type beats around this time, so I threw in like a whole bunch of like random boxes and like weird ass hi-hats. But yeah, that's what we got right here. So yeah, I'm gonna stop that because no lie, that mug sounds cursed. After that, I got a triangle just hitting on like beat 2. I have claps, got some chants. That's essentially it. I just added a whole bunch of other drum stuff. Perk, dog sound. And then yeah, after that, 808. So we got 808 on number 16. We're using the Don't Lie 808. This is what the pattern looks like. And yeah, I try to make the mix on this sound as ugly as possible. So yeah, that's what we got. Like ugly, but listenable enough. So let me enable all the drums if I can figure out everything that is just a drum itself. This is what the drum bounce sounds like by itself, if you could call it a bounce. But yeah, here's with the melodic parts. Yo, this beat is so cursed, bro. Okay, anyways, over here, only thing that's different is we're taking out the 808. We got some Perk 40 Jace fuck you sound effects.
Boy, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, nigga.
So yeah, we got those. Then over here, whenever I end up bringing back 808 in a different pattern, I have this go on right over here. You can see I adjust the fruity mute with automation.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
And over here, essentially the only thing that changes, we're getting rid of the kick. We're going over to the 808 and we're using a different pattern this time. Here's what the 808 pattern sounds like now. I forgot that there's notes that go down here, but yeah, that in a nutshell is the entire beat. Then at the very end, we've got.
Hey, listen!
So yeah, that's a quick overview of how I made Double Cardboard. Definitely an interesting beat, but yeah, with that said, we're gonna be moving on to how I made MVP, including the extended intro. Alright, so we in project file MVP. This is what we got here. I got this whole extended intro I made like day of me uploading it to platforms. I love this beat so much, bro. But yeah, showing y'all how I made it. Starting off, we're in Trident Extreme. So the first thing I chose to open up was an EP. I opened up the Watermark EP. So that's what we got going on right over here. And I wanted to make a song for a while with just the same chord. So one chord the whole time. So we got D minor going into D minor. D minor into D minor first inversion. In other words, it is just D minor with the root note up an octave. For anyone curious, D minor second inversion is, or any chord second inversion is the root and the third up an octave. That's what we're playing right there. That's what it sounds like by itself. We got some EQ, as you can see, taking out the lows. And yeah, that just keeps repeating. Next thing I chose to add while making the beat, also some EQ on this up to the 500s. I chose to add the D, X, and J over here in Expand from the polysynth section in Expand 2. And this what we're playing, we're just playing the D minor chord, and I'm just repeating this every bar. And we're just playing these two notes, the F and E, and then E going right back into F again. But yeah, this is what it sounds like by itself, y'all. And then that repeats. But yeah, next thing that we got here is we're in Purity. We got the bell pad. However, I turned off the analog pad, so I think it's just the breath bell realistically. But yeah, we got this over here. We got some effects. We got some EQ, taking out some of those highs a little bit. We got some flanger, not some flanger. We actually have default flanger all the way up. And then we got some Ozone 9 Imager 55. Right here, this looks super crazy, but I really just played the D minor chord up on 2 octaves, and that hits on every single bar or beat. But yeah, on top of that, we're also having a hit on every like and eighth note, half beat, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we're having like an F plate in between. And yeah, with that said, this is what it sounds like by itself. Hell yeah, bro, I love that part too. I love everything about this beat, real life. Thing we got here, we're in Xenology, and we got the air lead. We got some attack going up, and then we got some vibrato going up. We got limiter going down to -18, some like super heavy compression just so it doesn't get like too loud, and I didn't want to put some clipper because I didn't want it to get like distorted or anything. But yeah, we got that. We got default chorus once again. Then we had that at 67% on the mix level. We got some EQ, taking out some of those mids. Some Frank Pole retro, or you could obviously use RC20 retro color if you have that. These are the settings I have here. And yeah, this is the pattern that we got right here, and it just repeats. This is what it sounds like by itself, y'all. Moving on, we are in Xenology again. So we have the XA decimal. I've been wanting to use like some pulsating parts in Xenology to give my beat some extra texture. So that's what we got going on here. So yeah, this is what it sounds like by itself. Low key, if you're wondering how I made this, I low key was just clicking in half notes, and then right here I chopped this up. I was low key just going with what felt / sounded good, and that's what you should go with whenever it comes to music. Put stuff together that sounds good, obviously. Have some kind of like fundamental concepts behind it, but you know, also go with feel and what sounds good. So yeah, this is what it sounds like by itself. Love that, honestly. But yeah, that's what that sounds like by itself. And last thing that we got here, the most important thing, is the EQ, duh. But yeah, we took out some of those highs a little bit. But we got Wavetable Organ 2 from Expand 2. It's just playing A on beat 2, and this is what it sounds like by itself. So that was the last thing I needed to have the melody be put together.
Boring.
I know I'm nerdy for saying 2 that many times, you know, but I don't give a fuck, bro. It's my channel anyways. So yeah, that's what that sounds like. Moving on, we got drums. So we got a snare just sitting on 3. basic pattern. Then we got another one to accent coming right here. Then we got 808s. I got EQ. Yeah, I got some EQ here. So what the shaping of that main snare looks like on beats 3 and 7. For the 808, this is what we got going on right over here. We're just playing the root note for the most part, then we're going down to C on the last note. So yeah, this is what this sounds like now. Added the "We Gonna Be Okay" crash sound effect. Got some open hats. So yeah, I got that. Next thing I did is low key. Most of these are on triplets for the hi-hat here, except for the rolls. I think they're on half steps. Yeah. But yeah, I was basically just putting like triplet patterns for the hi-hat, just putting in rolls where I felt needed. And that's how I ended up making this. This is what the whole thing sounds like by itself. Yo. But yeah, with that said, that's everything that I have for the drum section over here. So this is what it sounds like all together. And here's with everything else. Love this one so much, honestly. Moving on over here, we're taking out the lead, we're taking out the XA decimal, we're taking out the organ. Yeah, hi-hats I know for a fact change over here, so that's what we got. So here's the first thing. Simpler pattern, as y'all could see here. This is what a bit of it sounds like. And knowing me, this is the exact same thing on that other side. Next thing is the 808 also changes just a tad bit here too. So this is what we got now for the 808. So yeah, that's what we got there. Also forgot to mention, but the hold is obviously up, as you can hear on the 808. Whenever I stopped playing it, it stopped entirely. But yeah, that's what we got there for the main verse section. Coming in right over here, bro, this is definitely one of my favorite parts of the beat. But it's right here where I take out the crash stays in the whole time. But I take out the hi-hats and I just change the 808, and it sounds so much cleaner because of how much space I put. But yeah, this is what we got going on right here. This is on a different 808 pattern. Yeah, okay. But this one specifically has the hold all the way up. I don't know why I chose to do it on this one. Probably a specific reason. This 808 right here though, I actually have this one playing specifically so it rings out. As you can see, this is like a straight block right here, and I changed the out knob on this one to 25%. Just because I thought it made the 808s fade out in a way that was nicer. So yeah, you're gonna be able to hear that in a second. This is what we have for this 808 pattern right here. So yeah, that's what we got there. I don't even know if I played this section at all, honestly, but I'm going to play that going into pattern 15. But yeah, with that said, that is basically everything in MVP. Right over here, it's essentially everything we got here. We have no DX and J. It's just the bell pad and the, what's it called? The watermark EP. And yeah, for the most part, we have all of the, we don't have anything. We just have the open half of the drums. We take out the 808, even in pattern 9 over here. We just have like the hi-hats and all that stuff. Obviously, y'all can see on the side, like just as I'm seeing, we're taking out the 808 on this section. We're taking out some other pieces. And yeah, outro is supposed to lead up a lot more into the song 50K. As you can see, some things are named 50K here. They're a key apart, so it didn't end up becoming a perfect transition, but it's still pretty decent. I heard transitions on Dopamine that Rio Leva had did, and I really wanted to try doing something of the sort. So yeah, that's why I chose to do this. I still think it sounds pretty cool, but yeah. with that said, we're gonna move on to the final track, Keep It 10. Ooh, I almost stopped the recording, what the fuck? Alright, y'all, this is the final track for me to show y'all. Final track that was on the tape, except for, I guess, extended intro mode. However, we have got Keep It 10. Now, I actually really like this one because I've been really bad at sound designing and I have no banks in Serum at all. So I would like low-key stick away from Yeet beats because everyone would make those beats with like crazy ass Serum banks, and I was like, yo. Yeah, I've been trying to low-key get better at sound designing. I think even in the Yeet type beat, I don't know if it was, or some other type. I think it was the Ken Carson type one. But I think I opened up Serum a few times. I don't remember. It might have been like the Lord of Chaos type beat. But yeah, I've been trying to get better at sound designing and all that stuff. So I challenged myself one day. I almost recorded myself making this one, but I didn't. But I really wanted to just make a beat where I made the whole melody from scratch and all that stuff. And that's exactly what I did here. And I'm really proud of how this one came out. But yeah, hopping into Serum. These are all going to be on Serum, basically. But we have also, if I forget some things while I'm explaining this, it's because I don't use Serum that much, so I'm gonna try and explain to the best of what I remember and my ability. But yeah, oscillator A, we're on basic shapes over here with triangle, unison of 5, all the other settings, the D2 and all the other stuff. Oscillator B is an active, and then we have it 2 octaves up. We have it on basic shapes and on the square wave. We have it at unison of 3, and yeah, that's basically it for the oscillators. For the filter, we have this on both A and B, MG low 12. This is what it looks like. Envelope, this is what we got right here. LFO1, we have this mapped over to the cutoff, and then LFO2, we got that mapped over to the D-tune ever so slightly for oscillator A. And yes, that's what we got there. We got no effects. However, we've got the EQ going on right over here, taking out some of those lows up to the 200 hertz, and we have got some reverb going on here. Now, as for what we're playing, we are playing some chords. So we got the B flat major 7, no 3. No 3 means the third here, which is D for a B flat major chord. I took that out. So there's that. We got C5 or the C power chord, and then we got D5 or the D power chord. So yeah, that's what we got there for the first sound. This is what it sounds like. I really love how this sounds so much. Also got some inspiration from Aquafina by Ken and 24 Songs by Cardi. I was listening to those a lot. In Serum, again, I kind of made this like bell pluckish type of sound, so this is how I made that. We're over here, basic shapes. I think this is the sawtooth. I believe that's what this one is. 2 octaves up, and yeah, that's what we got there. Unison of 1. Oscillator B, we got the sine wave in basic shapes. Octave 2 as well, octave up. It's up 2 octaves. And then filter, cutoff, MG low 12, just an oscillator A though. This is what the envelope shape is like, so we actually get that like kind of bell pluckish feel. And yeah, that's basically everything for what I see here. We got a lot of effects though. This is what we got, so I'm not gonna go in detail. Y'all can see what I got on screen right there. Yeah, main takeaways are obviously, I guess, you know, I mean basically everything true, but kind of the delay is like a big noticeable factor in there for sure. Here is what we got. This is what the pattern looks like right over here, and yeah, here's what it sounds like. Third sound, so ignore this, but I kind of got like a little saw sign type lead. So oscillator A, we got the default shape that pops up when you open up Serum. We got that saw shape that's there, and oscillator B is up by 4 octaves, and we got a sine wave. For the filter, we got MG low of 18 going on both A and B. Over here bottom right, we got the portamento set up to 40 milliseconds, and then we got some effects going on. We got one effect active over here, and it's just the fruity parametric EQ taking out some of the low mids. This is what this pattern looks like, and here's what it sounds like, y'all. So yeah, that's what that sounds like. Over here, we're on Serum number 4, and I chose to make something that sounded like you'd be hearing it in like a Minecraft cave or something like that. So I got oscillator A, we're just on the basic saw sound again. We got unison up to 3 voicing, and this is what we have for the filter. MG low 12 with some of the resonance turned up. This is what the envelope looks like as well. For the porta, we're at 73, so we got that, and this is what we got for the effects. Once again, a lot of effects. A lot of effects. But yeah, so from here, we're basically just going up like a scale for each root note. So as I said, we are on B flat major 7 earlier, so we're starting from B flat. And then over here, we're on C, as I said, C power chord. Then we're going over to D and D again because it's just sitting on the D power chord there. Hey, yo. But yeah, this is what we got here. This is what it sounds like. Last thing that we got is this last kind of like little like ominous type of lead that I made. This is a sine wave, but I actually changed the harmonics to be like this. So that's what we got there. Filter, high of 12, and this is what it's looking like. This is what the envelope shape is looking like as well. Portamento, I don't think, yeah, I don't have anything up for that whatsoever. And this is the only filter that we got going on over here. But yeah, this is what this sounds like by itself. I really like this one, I won't lie. My favorite part about this is these notes right here spell deaf. With that said, here are all the melodic parts together. This bug is so tough, bro. It's so tough, bro. It's so tough. I love this beat so much. But yeah, with that said, the beat is dang near the like exact same thing the whole way through. So going on, in Aquafina by Ken, the Z808 was used, and I've never really liked the Z808. This is, I believe, my one and only song so far having the Z808. So I chose to just use it. So this is what we got going on here. We have the hold all the way up, of course, because it's me making an 808 pattern. But yeah, this is what it sounds like and what it looks like and all that stuff. So yeah, we got that. I'm saying that punchy ass 808, I didn't even notice took over like 2019 with all them like Juice WRLD songs. But yeah, we've got that. Next thing that we're adding is we're just adding a basic 2-step hi-hat pattern with like a little roll every now and again. Nightcore hi-hat from the Ken Carson kit. Normally I would say y'all get the point, but I had to show the roll. Right over here, we got the snare on 3 and 7, super basic Nightcore snare. Got that, some EQ shaping just a tad bit. We got the open hat over here as well. Hardcore open hat, once again, Ken Carson. So yeah, we got that. We got triangle perk on 2. And yeah, tambourine roll hits over here on beat 2 of bar 3. With that said, here is the entire drum section by itself. But yeah, all together, here's what we got.
You're so funny, David.
But yeah, as you can see, there's obviously some like EQ mixing that I did on the very top. So that's how I did this section over here. I also took out the hi-hats for this section specifically because I thought it sounded better with the hi-hats gone. And yeah, as for this section, I just took out everything but the Serum 1 part. Then everything else is practically the exact same here. Like this part didn't change either. I don't even know if the Z808 didn't change. Only thing I did was just take some parts out. And then towards the ending, besides changing the hi-hat pattern a little bit right here. But yeah, last thing that I did over here on this very last pattern was I left in the snare the triangle. That's essentially it though. And then I just let the like volume fade out and I put the little EQ thing back in, so some automation. And then as you can see, it fades out. Soft clipper was on the entire way for this song. And yeah, with that said, that is how I made Keep It 10. Once again, really like this song. If y'all enjoyed at any point of seeing how I broke these down, then please like, comment, subscribe, share around. Share which instrumental is your favorite, and low-key, if y'all want to, I'll just like drop them on the channel. I don't know if I'll drop them on all plats. I mean, sometimes I like to do that, but I didn't really know if I wanted to for this time. But yeah, if y'all want, I will drop the instrumentals on the channel, so y'all could go fuck around with them and whatever. But with that said, it's your boy Real. I will catch y'all later. Take care. Peace. Oh, what am I doing? Fuck with the 2 videos on the side too. Yeah, peace out.